Alright YouTube, what is going on? My name is Bigfoot. Thank you very much for checking out this video. In today's episode number 43 of my White Valley series, we have some good news. So going back to the start of episode 41, we were having an issue to do with the underground. So I went ahead and made some changes, and if we go ahead and filter now by underground trains, we can now see that 2 of our 3 are in the profit, and what we're actually going to do now is we're actually going to go ahead and close the middle line as well. Middle line is not popular, and the reason for this is quite obvious, to be honest. If we go ahead and have a look at the upper line stations, which I'm just going to temporarily change to blue, and then you've got the middle line here. The middle line, as we can see here, it's around so many different stations, if that be at the bus station, which arguably isn't in use anymore, but there's a tram route which follows this line really well, which isn't great. If we turn that on there, yeah, you can see just the amount of just competition over here, which isn't great at all. So it means that this line it's really struggled for profit the full time, and even with the changes now, I cannot make the underground lines any cheaper at all. If we change a filter back here, I cannot make things any cheaper, so that's why I've decided to sell those trains. With regards to the upper Hetton, it is in a bit of profit, and I think it should do even better now that we've gone ahead and made that change. It should hopefully get some more airport traffic now as well, which is good, connecting up into the centre of town. And it's just with the cheaper price of these rail buses, they are so cheap as well, and we are getting good numbers on these as well, which is great to see. I think a similar story up in Hetton as well, to be honest, or Hampstead should I say, sorry. I think it is, again, up here, we're serving a part of town which isn't well connected, but it is a short-term solution which goes ahead and means I don't have to modify the trams that frequently up here. Though again, this town needs work, but so many towns need work, and we've got quite a lot to do this episode. On top of that, if we come all the way over to Spalding, we have done some work on this town here because the tram was just awful, and I thought I'd do it off camera and get it out the way. So this now here is the modern look of the tram line. As we can see, much more efficient than it once was. It used to terminate at a turning circle here, so it didn't have this large expansion down here, and then similarly it used to terminate, this used to be its turning circle here, and it didn't run down to here. Now what I've done is I've gone ahead and extended it greatly, just because of the way the train station is built in the town of Spalding here. So you'd maybe think with having the line like this, you'd want a station on the edge of town that continues to run right through, instead of having all the trains turning in. And with regards to train efficiency, the trains are really having to slow down on approach. Yes, they do need to slow down on approach anyway, that does make sense. However, they are probably losing a bit of overall efficiency anyway by just doing this with the general corners. However, it does mean though that this station has 3 entrances, and that's why the new tram route is doing so well and is built that way. Just because we can have people using the tram getting dropped off at these 2 spots here on either side of the station, and then actually at the station entrance itself, which is perfect. It means that the tram is doing really well, and it's probably one of our better trams right now. If we look for TR Spalding, we can see it's up at 309k, and most trams have got at least 20 people on them. It's very rare now to go ahead and actually find empty trams. They do have a regularly good amount of passengers, and they're also spread out across all of town because there's so many different areas where you can actually get access to a station, which is great. So this place is doing great. On top of that, I've upgraded some trains in multiple areas, one of them being the train which goes from Newton Spalding, well, from Newton to Spalding here, just because the train was at a capacity of 168, that wasn't enough. I've upgraded those trains to Stadler Flirts now, as we can see, and they're doing much better with handling, I guess, the better connectivity in Spalding, because with the tram upgrade, we're now starting to get a lot more passengers use the train station here, which is good. Then if we jump away from here, I've also made some additional changes on the Riverside project, so I've actually downgraded some trains, because these were Stadler Flirts, and this one's carrying 38 passengers, for example, which with a Stadler Flirt was just losing a lot of money and just really wasn't worth it in general at all. Outside of that, we've done little bits and bobs here and there, to be honest. We've got a lot to do and a lot of issues throughout the map. We need to turn our attention back over to this side at some point as well, which we'll hopefully get to in this episode. But Actually, interestingly here, there is a lot of overcrowding issues here, which we will very quickly touch on. I mean, I think that because I will come back to that because I've got a bigger issue to deal with right now. So at the end of the last episode, we were going ahead and making quite a lot of changes to the overall. We're trying to get goods being made from this factory here, and in general we did quite well with it. As we can see, there are some goods being made, but there's a big problem. The goods factory here requires either wood, or sorry, I should say planks, and be very clear about that, because this was the mistake I actually made. It requires planks and plastic, or planks and steel to make packages, right? So what I was doing is I was easily creating plastic from here. Out of the oil refinery, I was producing oil, and this oil was coming up over to here to then be turned into plastic. So plastic generation, easy as. However, I needed planks, right? But getting planks, I made a mistake. I was assuming that planks are coming straight out of here, which they weren't at all, because this is logs. So what I was doing was I had a route going from here all the way down this road into here, thinking it would work, and it, funnily enough, didn't work. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and changed this up, and I need to get these logs to a sawmill to turn them into planks before I bring them over to the goods factory. However, the local sawmill over here is at 100% capacity, just due to the fact that we have, this is helping out over here, because this place also requires a lot of wood, making the tools and also the machines. So very important that there too, and I can't really disrupt that. So what I've had to do is I've had to ship out the logs, which they're not really generating great right now, so I need to look into that. But if we go ahead and check out the new route now, if we jump into road vehicles, follow the yellow line, so instead of continuing down there down to the goods factory, it now cuts across here where the oil field is. Then it continues along here right over the bridge, and then once you're over the bridge, I've now made this new bridge, which then makes its way over to this sawmill here, which again takes in the logs, gives us the planks output we need. And then from here, trucks usher the planks all the way along here and into the base here, which is perfect. Banger planks, then that delivers planks to here, and that gives us both planks and both plastic, which is great. However, it's not working right now. I'm not really at all sure why, so we're going to troubleshoot this. Did a lot of this off camera just because I thought, you know what, you don't need to see this in all honesty. So we should be moving planks there, that's fine. These trucks should be... No, I know why. Right, okay, because these trucks should not be planks. They should be set to logs. So let me very quickly go ahead and change this. This is G, this is Southgate. And let's make this change. So if we go back into here, let's go into freight, let's grab the Volvo timber, let's go for logs, let's go for OK, let's go for on, and let's go for replace now. So that should go ahead and basically break the bank. I was thinking something was wrong, I just needed to go ahead and troubleshoot it, and now I've done that. That should really get that whole chain of things going. So we'll speed the game up, let that, all those changes really take place. It'll take a while because we've got so many different variables actually making the goods, so it's sort of going to take a time for this production to actually kick off. But once it does, I think it should be quite successful. This oil well's doing extremely well over here. I've also had to add on some more fuel trucks, which provide the town of Botry with more fuel actually, because it was just needing them. I needed to add on an extra 3 trucks because it was just doing too good in all honesty. As we can see, if we go over here to Botry, was it Botry we were putting fuel all the way up to? Yeah, it must have been. No, it must have been Banger, sorry. Getting my names mixed up again. As we can see, we're up at 29%, which is decent for the town of Banger. Again though, we've still got so much to work on that, I mean, it is an endless battle, and I really could do with Industry Tycoon, but I kind of don't want to use it because it will then make the series endless, so that's why I'm kind of not going for it right now. And my next series I will have to use it because it's going to be such a challenge, but again, I will keep that under wraps for the time being. So that's really where we're at right now. In all honesty, we've got a lot of stuff to deal with right now, in all honesty. But I'm really happy with the progress that we are making, especially up in this part of the map. Though again, I do think we need to jump ship and really go ahead and run away and solve some of our continued ongoing issues. So right now, I think we're making we're making maximum fuel over here, which is good to see. However, I think we need to move some more goods. So as we can see here, we've got a train here which is leaving pretty much full, which is good to see. This is the G Hetton fuel. However, I do believe I've got a bit better wagons on here. What is the weight for? G Hetton fuel, yes, and G Coburn fuel actually is interesting. So G Coburn fuel, that's going to go up the hill, those trains. So let me go ahead and see where I can make the upgrades. So if we leave that in the corner there, let's filter by trains and let's go ahead and filter by our Gs. Then we need to go ahead and, first of all, I think modernise the trains and make sure we're on auto upgrade. That's one thing. So we'll come back and do those ones later actually. I just want to focus on our G Coburn and G Hetton. So we've got one train which currently runs our G Coburn fuel, though it is losing wild amounts of money, probably because it's double-headed in all honesty. Plus there's only one of them actually running this train anyway right now. So as we can see, this is pulling into the platform. That's a Hetton train. Yeah, so we're actually needing that train to come along. I don't even know where it is right now. It is dum-ba-da-bum. That is really no help. I think it's coming back down the hill. No, it's not. Can we? Yeah, it is. It is coming down the hill. Perfect. Yeah, so it's empty. What I think we need to do is undouble head that. I mean, this is a steep hill, but I think it's not actually worth it because we're actually not making any more money or making the train any faster. So what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade that. We're going to upgrade, I guess, some more of the tanks as well. Just try turn a lot of this red into green because, again, that's another way I'm going to measure that this series is successful. So what we're going to do is get rid of one of those vehicles. I think also we now have more better wagons as well, if I'm right in saying. So we go by freight. And then we go by those ones there. So I believe that's the tank wagon which can carry 15. Which is great. However, I think now we've got ones that can carry 31, which is a massive upgrade, obviously. We can also carry plastic in there, interestingly. Arguably, these are longer, so we won't get as many in, but definitely worth changing to. Anyway, what have we got here? We got 28. So yeah, I think these ones here, the G25s, are our best bets. Yes, let's go ahead and do that, and you're going to be carrying fuel up the hill. So let me go ahead and get rid of all of this here. First of all, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We'll just do 14 on that because we still need to get up a big hill. And if we replace now, that should go ahead and upgrade the... Let me go ahead and put this on at ×3. Currently the train capacity is at 240, so that's all of a sudden about to jump up a crazy amount, which is wonderful. And it's going to be super efficient going forward, which is good to see. Then on top of that, we've got these trains here as well, which we've got 3 of these. The Goldmine crude oil, that's inefficient. 17 million loss, so that's a big thing we need to go ahead and work on. Though that is actually not serving this area here. It's more these trains here. I believe this is just called G crude oil. So right now, yes, we have like maximum pumpage, if that's even a word, going on here. The reason I've got 2 trains is because we are just pumping at such a rate which we need to go ahead and keep up with the 2 trains. We originally had ports moving up and down the river, but that just wasn't very efficient anymore. So what I think I need to do is I need to go ahead and just again upgrade that train as well. I think that's the best bet. All of a sudden this train now has a capacity of 434, so we can also just go ahead and retire one of these trains on the G crude oil and then save ourselves quite a bit of money. So whereabouts, it's at this end. So what's going to happen actually is you're going to go ahead and get yourself sold. You're going to run right through and into the depot, which you can there, which is perfect. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and upgrade this train. Again, this train might be a little bit old as well, so I think it's important that we put this on auto upgrade as well. So I would like to keep the locomotive though. It is the 101 DB Eco 2 Hant, which is fine. So let's get ourselves that. Then I think we already know what wagon-wise we're going to go for. We jump into wagons, freights. Let's get the G25 again. Let's go ahead, and this is going to be carrying crude oil, so we might as well just specify it's going to be carrying crude oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 times 31, yeah, I'm just thinking because I actually have a limit of about 300, I have a certain limit on the length of this train, what it can be. So that's going to cost me 32 million to upgrade actually, which is a crazy amount. Right now, as we can see here, the limit's not 300 meters, but we need to just make sure it does fit in the train station though, because I don't know how much longer these new wagons are going to be. So all of a sudden, yeah, we're up to 291 here to move, which is good. So the new train fits in the platform pretty much perfectly, and it's also gone ahead and upgraded up to 496. So we're going to be able to move this crude oil easily, no problem, and that should then really turn a profit really quickly. The alarming one here is this one here, so let's jump over to... Oh, this is quite a long train journey here, so 14 million loss right now. We're all the way over in Kendal, which I want to build an underground line in shortly actually, which I think we'll do, so... though we'll save that for later on in the episode. Up here, so right now we've got... We are keeping production high, which is good, though I've got a feeling that's downgraded from previously, so we need to go ahead and address that. I'm going to slow things down here a bit. So what I want to do is at least upgrades to basically just remove a train. So I think right now we're not moving stuff fast enough out of here, which is fine. So, where's stuff going to? Quite a few different places, which I think we just need upgraded trucks, and then from that we'll upgrade the trains. So let's do that. Yeah, let's definitely do that, because I think at the back of my mind I feel if I upgrade the trucks it might actually spur more demands and it might justify us having the 3 trains. The 3 trains is also quite efficient, so I feel we could get it down to 2, but we'll get there in a second. So let me go ahead and start off with the G Fordwich fuel, because evidently we just don't have enough trucks on here. These trucks though, they're doing not too bad, though we just need more of them. So I'm actually going to go ahead and... I really want to be a lot more specific when I'm actually setting up my routes now. And I really do want to make sure that I am moving the correct... or the correct? That was a combination of the word correct and right, correct. What we're going to do is we're actually going to specify this being a fuel truck. So let's go ahead and upgrade those now, and let's also add some more on. So, interestingly, we don't have a truck depot there. We have one over here though, which is good. So let me go ahead and add on... I think we're going to have to upgrade this wee depot here as well, because it's just not quite big enough. Well, it should be easy enough to do. Though we don't have a lot of space there, but we'll get around that somehow. So let me go ahead and grab this. Let's grab fuel. Let's grab 1, 2, 3, 4 more trucks. Quite a large upgrade, and that's the G Fordwich fuel, which is good. Then the G Goldmine fuel. Again, let's go ahead and sort that one out. Where are we at with that? So the G Goldmine fuel. Again, not doing too bad. We could probably do with just like 2 extra trucks maybe. That should do the trick. So let's grab, before we actually put new trucks onto it, I would like to go ahead and upgrade these trucks. Again, just specify them with some fuel. Like so, which is perfect. And then we replace now, so we can get rid of that screen and that. Nope, that screen there, perfect. Then if we jump in here, grab 1, 2 more fuel trucks. They'll go onto the G Goldmine fuel, which is wonderful, and then Kendal fuel. We seem to be doing okay there, which is good to see. Though again, while we're in this menu, I'm going to turn off G Kendal. This isn't in alphabetical order right now. There we go. Kendal. There we go, perfect. Oh, you're already on fuel trucks, which is good, and you're doing really well profit-wise as well. That's pretty much a nice round million, which is great to see. Okay, so that's made some difference there. Though, I'm a bit worried about this station here, because I think it's getting overloaded with trucks. I think we've got 3 routes using 2 different loading bays, which isn't good enough. That is efficiency problems all round. And this entry road isn't that great either, to be honest. So, yeah, that's not very good, is it? So let me go ahead and first of all, let's delete that. Then what we'll do is we'll chase trucks out of here. We're just gonna change, oh, no, not quite. Reconnect you with you. We need to go ahead and just change this entry area. So let's go ahead and push these trucks back to the main road for now. Then what we're gonna do is jump into road vehicles. Now we need a large, probably something like this size, which should be a bit better, truck depot here, which that would fit in really nicely there. Then what we can do is add in the connection roads like that, and then hopefully if we make a sharp enough turn round there, those two are in sphere of influence of each other. I think they are. I hope they are. Surely they are. It's difficult to tell. Yeah, that's in sphere of influence of that. They're both in sphere of influence of here, their oil refinery, which is what I want. Then if we go ahead and build a large country roads down into here, that works out perfectly. So, all the trucks are now routed into here, which is good. Let's go ahead and throw them across multiple terminals. So that's already a big upgrade. That should really help the efficiency around here, which is good. We do have, it's just much more spread out, which is great to see. Much more happy with that indeed. And that should hopefully mean that there's a lot more efficiency coming out of here. And as we can see, is a train pulling in with, it's not even full. So let's jump to the train side of things. There should be, I think, an increase in production here. And in general, we are starting to see that slowly but surely going up a little bit. Although it's dropping a bit. I want to say it is going up, and hopefully it should go up with the changes we've made. But we are going to make changes to these trains now. So first things first is we're going to sell one of these trains, because I don't need 3 trains out here. I only need 2 trains. So we're following this line back to here. Where's the depot on this line? Do we have a depot on this line? Oh, here it is. Right, okay, perfect. And you're just about to arrive in as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to continue into the platform. Then what's going to happen is you're going to get sold. So you're going to turn around and you're going to come into the depot. And that's me got rid of you. Perfect. So you were at, yeah, you have gone up because you were at about 800 and you weren't even full. You've gone ahead and extended into this extra corner, which is good. So the production is increasing here. So now we need to go ahead and increase the train sizes. That's what we really need to do here. So if we go back into here, we're very close to doing it earlier on. As we can see, it's actually gone from its 14 million loss. It's already back in the profit, which is good to see, but we're going to make it even more profitable. So let's go into replacements. Again, very happy to keep the same locomotives. Don't know why we're a multi-unit there. Let's grab one of these. And then instead of 18 cars, which currently have a capacity of 270, we're going to do 15 cars, which has a capacity of like 496 or something crazy along those lines with the G25 tank cars. Again, we're going to specify here this is going to be the movement of crude oil. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Which is wonderful. Put that to automatic replacement and upgrade now for a nice 50 million, which is good to see. Okay, so that is that resolved. Hopefully that should mean that all the towns out here get a lot more fuel in general. I believe Kendall is a beneficiary of the fuel here, currently at 33%, so not bad at all. I would classify good being a success if it was more than 50%, so Goldmine, I think we're hitting perfectly there. Thax actually gets us oil via boats, or fuel should I say, and it's at 52, which is good. It comes along from our base over here, which it looks like there's a lot of fuel now over here. Very happy about that indeed. I think we might need to upgrade the Hetton train now by the looks of it. Maybe not actually, maybe it's still the Coburn route, but I mean the Coburn route, it doesn't come down here very frequently. Just because it's only one train, but when it does, it can clear a backlog of like 400, so I mean there's not, yeah, it's fine with the one train it's got, so we really can't complain there. And then anyway, the last time we needed to check out here was Fordwich, and as we can see, that is the bus stop, as is that, the tram stop should I say. Come on Fordwich. 81%, so that is absolutely wonderful there, cannot complain at all. Just look at how bad this town is though, honestly, it's... like, look at the growth over here, it's so random. What we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and add a second street connection here, I think, because I think that could be super... oh dear. Yeah, you should always look at the upgrade options you're doing, because I've gone ahead and shot myself in the foot there. Let's upgrade that to 200. It's going to need to be a bit longer than that, isn't it? Let's do plus 200. And let's cut back to 320. Right, that works out that time a bit better. So that should it. Should that be it back in action? It should be. Though we now have a problem to do with routing. So let me have a think about this. Coming out here, so we need to... we need to move track 6 to terminal 2. Yeah, there we go, that's perfect. So that's it all resolved now. That was me just going ahead and upgrading without looking at the options. So let's go ahead and connect that up to there. Let's connect up this road into that junction there. And then now this part of town is connected up, which is good. So hopefully we should start to see a bit more growth over here. Evidently this train station's a bit busy though, isn't it? So I think these trains we need to upgrade that's only in a certain direction. I mean, that's not true actually. I do think these trains do need upgraded in general, because that's way too little. We need to go to Stadler Flirts, I think, on this route. So this is the T Kendall to Newton. Hold up, Kendall to Newton. So it goes Kendall, Goldmine, Fordwich, and Newton Abbot. No wonder the train stations here are chock-a-block, because that is just too many stops. Way too many stops for that matter. Though, you know what, I'm actually going to leave it for now. I want to see the difference of me upgrading to Stadler Flirts, or maybe even something else, to be honest. So let's go ahead and find it here. So I mean, it's doing very well profitability-wise, but we're limited at the 168 seats we're currently offering. So we could maybe try and use a new electrical train which we brought in since we have brought in a lot more mods. So I realise the Stadler case isn't new here, but again, just exploring around, that Stadler Flirt is new. It's got a capacity of 190. But it is actually a lot cheaper running cost per year than the Stadler Flirt we usually go to. Stadler Flirt NSB V2 costs 4.1 million a year. The Stadler Flirt here with, I guess it does have 35 less seats, but it is under a million cheaper. It's actually just under the 3 million mark, so that's interesting. We've also got the ICE 3, which is not that good. That's used a lot in Germany and on the continent. I mean, value for money, you're really not going to get much better at all than the Stadler Flirt, are you? What about diesel here? Got the BR64, that's tiny. Again, yeah, not got too much more actual electrical multi-units in here, do we? With this mod pack, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure there probably is in the mod list that Ethmeister has provided, but it is such a big list that I've not got everything in here because it takes me a good 5 minutes to load up this save. What we could do is jump up to... Kind of just want to do something different than the Stadler Flirt, you know that? 124. Could go for a dual stock here. 198 or 274. I mean, that there would cost us 4.56 million a year. Nah, you know what? We're just going to go for the Stadler Flirt, honestly. It's just the best option. So let's go ahead and replace that now at 160 million, but that'll make a big difference. And then hopefully we should start to see a bit better connectivity over here with Fordwich and that. Anyway, so I did say I'd make another underground track, and I'm thinking that actually maybe that town's not the best. Just because it's population. I need a town that's just one spread out and it's got high population. And probably not good connectivity internally as well, because towns of Hampstead and Hetton, they have like 3 trams each. Which is a lot, may I say. So that's why I'm just trying to pick out the best town here for this. I could quite easily see Chorley doing quite well. I mean, this station is ridiculously overcrowded right now. Bawtry Chorley, jeez oh. This is crazy, this station. This is probably the busiest station on the map in terms of the amount of passengers waiting there. Though again, I think the tram's quite overcrowded, so that's why I think this would be a really good bet. Plus, this whole part of town has like nothing going for it right now. So let's work on this one here and see what we can do. Okay, so looking at initial transport right now, let's jump into this view here. So we have a tram, which serves part of town, and arguably quite well, to be honest. I think what we will do is we'll leave this tram the way it is. Then what I want to do actually here too, and I'm not going to make the same mistake, platform length is more than 80 right now, so number of tracks 2, I think it's at 200 anyway. High speed, second train connection, yes, and hit apply. Nope, definitely not, and it was 3 tracks anyway, so yeah, that really didn't work out at all. Should have done my sums right, so it must be 80 plus 200, 40 plus 200? Yeah, now we have a real issue though, don't we? We must have 4 platforms here. Yeah, we do have 4 yeah, that works out better. Right, so that's the perfect solution, and then we obviously have some terminal issues now. So we need to go ahead and put that onto terminal 3, I think. No, that needs to go into terminal 4. And that needs to go into terminal 3. Right, that's us back to normal there, which is good. What I do want to do, there's a reason I want to do this actually, is because I think we can get an easy station in here, to be honest, with the underground. Just because it's going to be easier than editing over here, for example, which is already very chaotic. So it means if people are wanting to come down to the station, they don't use the underground station at this side, they'll use one at this side instead. So while we're at it then, let's go ahead and build a large road, which is going to be like the new promenade for this side here. Let's do that. Let's just do a large road around here and we get lots of buildings sprawling off this. Then what I'd actually like to do is I'd like to do like an underground road here. So if we go down here, like so, perfect. And then, yeah, that works out great. So again, just an extra connection for people in the town. They can get over to this part of town much easier, which is good to see. So let's go ahead and do that. Then what I want to do is we're going to go ahead and get an underground train station in here. So how do we do this again? That's a real good question. What I want is I believe we want this one here. Let's close out of that for a second. Then if I rotate this around here, this is what we want. So I want discrete small entrances. Let's go for high speed. Let's go for platform length like 80. And we want something like that, in all honesty, which should be perfect. And then we just want the final part there connect into... Oh, this is going to be extremely difficult with the nodes here. That from there to there. Perfect. Right, okay, so that's the second street connection added with this first underground station, which is good. So that's going to be one of them. Then what I want to do is I want to have an underground station somewhere over here. We could possibly get 2 in, actually. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to probably have one here. I think would be quite a good idea. Like so. Then we can go ahead and... there, yep. Build, nope. Yeah, this is always an issue. There we go, that works. And then... that works like so, so perfect. And then I think we could get another one down here as well, to be honest. If we could try, maybe... be a little bit cheeky. I don't want to delete everything though, so I'm going to use an old tactic I used to use quite a lot. Let's do that there. Let's do that there and that there. Perfect. Now if we go ahead and... do that there like so. Wonderful. Okay, so that's us now got 3 undergrounds. That's not a good view. That's a good view. So you can see 1, 2, 3. That serves that part of town. Then here, with regards to current transport links, I would quite like... in all honesty, I quite like a bridge over here, to be honest. Let me see if we can do this. This is just a side sort of thing, though. Yeah, I think we can get a bridge in over here though. I want basically people from this side to be able to use the underground as well. So if we build up round there... No, that's not worked out in my favour. Let's try that again. Let's actually have this gradient increase this time. A bit more steeply. Like so. I like how this is running like perfectly parallel to the train tracks. So let's build that right up over there like so. Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. And then if we cut this back, I'm willing to lose this small section here. Like so. And there we go, that's perfect. So the connectivity is so much better now. So much better. We've got 1, 2... We only had originally this crossing between both parts of town. That's crazy. So anyway, we should hopefully be able to serve this part of town with this underground stop here. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. We could, I guess, add one round here now, but I don't feel there's enough buildings around here to justify a stop. So anyway, we're going to come under here. Then what I want to do is probably have one right in the middle here, and I want it to loop round and end in here. I think that's the best bet, to be honest. So if I can go ahead and somehow do that. Let's vision this again. So I think we can have a stop there. Let's have a stoplight up here, for example, maybe. I think that would be a good idea. So the first thing I'm going to do here is go ahead and upgrade all these roads in and around here, because I think they're well in need of some TLC, some tender loving care. So that should hopefully go ahead and just increase the speed that vehicles move through these streets anyway, which is very important indeed. And then with that done, we can now go ahead and hopefully get done what I want to do. Is this getting used anymore? I'm assuming not, no. Didn't think it was. What we can do then is we can go ahead and get rid of that. Let's go ahead and upgrade this street here. And then let's extend this street into there, which is perfect. And then what I can do is I can do... All I want is a small station probably in here. That's what I'm thinking here. So if we go ahead and very quickly just make a side joint there. Let's get rid of that there. Rotate this around and voila, perfect like so. And then we can go ahead and get rid of that bit there. Right, what I'm actually going to do now is I'm very quickly going to go ahead and connect all this up to make sure it is actually feasible. Because again, I don't know about the heights and all that in this town, so I'm a bit nervous about that, to be honest. So if we go ahead and run you back a little bit and run you into... Oh, the underground. I do love building underground lines, but they can just be a bit logistically challenging at times, if you cannot tell. And then, oh my word, I need to cut that bit of line back. Perfect, right, okay, so let's try this from this POV. No, I just want this to stay underground. I'm not trying to surface, I'm not trying to do anything. Right, let's run you to there, and then run you from there into... Yeah, but not there. Oh, I might have to remove this piece of road at this rate. What I want is No, but it's not surfacing, it's connected into that piece there. I mean, you've just got to wonder at times. We'll come back to that anyway. I'm just wanting to make sure the rest of this connects up well. So that connects round to that corner easily. It's the worst trying to do junctions underground. That's the honest thing. That's what I especially learned in the Scotland series. Right, there's a bit of an issue here though. In that I think there's too much slope or something. That's why I wanted to do this now, before we came across lots of future issues. So I've got a feeling it's maybe to do with why this station isn't deep enough. That's maybe the problem. No, so we can get that to there. If we can level that out instead of having that building up the way. And then if we run you through to... No, it's really not liking this, is it? If we run that to there, and then do this final bit into there. Again, I think this station's too shallow. Oh, that's the problem. Right, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode, because I'm going to have to do this off camera. It's a lot more tedious than I thought. Some undergrounds are really easy to build, some are not. But I just want to come back and conclude on one or two things this episode. that we worked on. So, first of all, over here, we spent a lot of time over here, especially with some larger trains now, and we're down to one train on this route. It's coming back now for the 496 crude oil, which we're about to move. So, right now we have a build-up of probably it'll be about 400 the time the train actually gets in and slows down, but it is going ahead and moving plenty of oil, which is good to see. Very happy about that indeed. And it has probably gone ahead and made some savings actually. Let's look at the top of the G's here now. So before it was a mixture, quite a lot of red actually. If we just go by train, sorry. So there's still a little bit of red, but it's not... All the lines we've worked on are now profitable, as we can see. These crude oil ones are the big ones, and also the fuel one here as well. That's super efficient as well, which is good to see. Again, I think we still need to work on moving stuff out of here, but I think it's actually I think it's okay, to be honest. Maybe touch on the boats in the next episode, because they look like they could do with some TLC too. Then with regards to coming over to here, really good to see that we are getting rid of all the fuel at a good rate. This train pulling in is full, which is good, very happy about that. Production there could be a bit better, and I wonder why that is. We maybe need to bring a third train back onto here actually. I mean, to be fair, this train is going to clear most of that backlog out. But, I mean, how are we doing over here? We're at the maximum, so no wonder. That's why we might need a third train. So we'll think about that and monitor that situation as we go forward. But in general, I think fuel in all these towns is doing really, really good. One of the other big pieces of work we're doing is over here with the goods factory. We are producing goods. 34 albeit, which is not a lot. How much planks are we producing? 4. Yeah, we're not moving enough wood, or we're not chopping enough wood over here. That's our issues. I think we're not chopping enough wood in all honesty, because you trucks are all logs. Yeah, we're just not chopping enough logs, which is our issue right now. So again, we'll work on that in the next episode. But ladies and gentlemen, hope you have enjoyed this episode. Please leave a like, rate and subscribe if you are new around here. We got a lot of work done this episode, but we are going to need to continue with the rate of work we're doing to go ahead and continue to make a difference. So go ahead and leave this video a like, rate and share it with a friend. Really helps the channel grow. Go down into the description below, check out my Twitter, my Patreon and my Discord. And that's all, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Bigfoot, and I'm out.